Hey guys, it's Thomas here, and today I want to talk about using Notion to run and manage a newsletter. So, I've been running a newsletter on LinkedIn for over a year, and I have found Notion to be a pretty helpful tool in some specific aspects. So, I do realize that there are many different newsletter publishing platforms out there, and the feature sets of these platforms are pretty sophisticated and useful. So I didn't want to just duplicate any features that are already embedded in those platforms to Notion because it just doesn't make sense. But I have discovered a few use cases that I think Notion is a great fit for that I use personally. So I also hope and think that it might be useful for some people out there. So this template called Newsletter Nexus is built on those pain points and use cases which are relevant for me. So let me show you a couple of them which I use basically on the daily when creating my own newsletter. So the first one, I mean, it's a very simple thing, but it's just basically being able to track and store any static assets that are relevant to the newsletter. So, for example, these could be visual assets. So any images or photos that I use in the newsletters, just tracking them and putting them and storing them in one place is very helpful. The same goes for Chat GPT prompts. I've figured out that storing a useful ChatGPT prompt is very helpful, and I often come back to it when I need to structure the text in some way or another. So just having a space and a workspace to track all these static assets is very helpful. The second thing is drafting the text of the newsletter. So I found Notion to be a really good note taker and editor. Just being able to format the text, etc. It's a very kind of friendly environment for me. So I prefer writing the draft of the newsletter in Notion itself, and it comes here. So here I track all the newsletter editions with a few parameters that I found useful. So things like issue date, the status of the newsletter, whether it's sponsored or not, the topics that I cover, etc., etc. And then the text itself, I edit here. And what is also like very helpful, you can use the template feature of Notion to create a repeating newsletters. So it could be on weekly on or monthly basis to populate this newsletter edition table. And then of course, if you have any specific structure of the newsletter that you use frequently, or that you stick to, this new newsletter template is a great way to put it here, so you don't have to start all over again each time. The second big use case that I use Notion for is managing tasks, and this is helpful both if you work in a team on a newsletter, but also if you work just by yourself. So usually I would have different ideas for the newsletter. I would have different things to research for the newsletter, and it all comes here. So you can create a new task or a new item, and then you can relate it to a particular newsletter. And this is a very simple tool or simple way to track your ideas or tasks. But I personally found it to be helpful to have it here. And then the second or the third big thing that I use Notion for is actually managing the partnerships and sponsorships pipeline. So this might not be relevant for all of you out there, but if you get to a stage where you are trying to reach out to potential partners or sponsors of your newsletter, or you're getting some inbound leads, having a simple CRM to track these leads, and also having a way to kind of plan your sponsorships timeline here. This is what I use quite a lot. So So just tracking the partners in a simple CRM fashion, and being able to visually plot where the partnerships are potentially happening. It's been something that I found to be helpful, and not many newsletter platforms actually have this feature. So yeah, Newsletter Nexus is a simple, essentially one-page template. It covers a few key areas where I found Notion to be a great fit to help me to get more organized and run my newsletter. And this being a Notion template, of course, it's infinitely customizable. So any new things or any workflows that you might have regarding your particular needs when running a newsletter, they're very easy to add. And I hope you found this to be helpful. I hope it gave you some ideas. And if you think that this template could be helpful for you, you can find the link in the description. So thank you very much for checking this one out. Hope you have a great day, and I wish you all the best and all the luck with running your own newsletter. Thank you, and take care.